My name is Alfred Sigo from Pwani Youth Network. Today I want to talk about how arts can be used to bring change. Art spaces are spaces whereby young people can utilize for their growth, but they can also use as a platform to help sensitize communities and also create a safe space for young people. We've cemented murals across communities, but we've also done education through different art presentation like online plays, music, and also the use of media as a strategy to reach community. We find that it's very important for us to disseminate different community messages through art and also to ensure that communities are reached with different formats and formulas that can bring up change. I also want to say that art and creative spaces are very important elements that when utilized well, they can help young people create different community spaces for themselves.
About 8 years ago, I launched Safe City, a crowd map for sexual and gender-based violence. We encourage people to anonymously document their stories so that we can see the patterns and trends emerging from this data by location. One of the places that we had a hotspot emerge was in an urban village in Delhi called Lal Kuwa. It was at a tea stall where men would congregate, drink their tea, and intimidate women and girls passing by with their constant male gaze. When asked what would they like to change about the situation, the women and the girls said that they would want the staring to stop. So we organized an art-based workshop and we helped them paint this huge wall mural with staring eyes. It has many messages both in English and in Hindi that literally challenges the patriarchal behavior. The messages say we will raise our voices, we won't stay silent, we will speak up. We won't be intimidated by your gaze. Look with your heart, not with your eyes, and so on and so forth. These wall murals were so powerful that it actually got the men to stop. And I love this picture because you can see the agency on this girl's face. She looks so confident and she's just 13 years old. But through that paintbrush and this wall mural, which we called a talking wall, she is challenging the behavior. The second wall mural was in Bombay, outside a girls' college. The girls said that they had groups of young men hang around and intimidate them when they were on a break. And so again we had an art-based workshop where we had conversations about what they were experiencing, and then the girls decided what kind of messaging they wanted to put on these walls. And so they painted that sexual harassment is a crime. They were talking about staring eyes but also taking pictures without permission. They wanted to talk about rape culture. All these are taboo topics, very hard to discuss. But it was easy for them to talk about it through the walls. And they added a new element. They spoke about consent, but they also added the sections of the Indian Penal Code under which all these inappropriate behaviors were a crime. And during the painting of this wall mural, we had many men stop and ask us what we were doing, and they said that they weren't aware that these were crimes, and they thanked us for it. As you can see, it's very interesting to see how people can take back their agency by not only talking about their feelings through the wall, but also putting information like the Indian Penal Code. This has been used outside public toilets like the one you can see right now in Delhi. The public toilet didn't have proper doors, windows, or lighting. On top of that, we had men hang around, take pictures of women whilst they were going about their business, and that was intimidating because they didn't know how those videos or pictures would be used. But taking a stand, even if it is painting, just the act of sharing their feelings and putting it in a public space is very, very powerful.
Madare Roots Initiative is an organization that is operating in the informal settlements of Madare for the last few years. Just around when the first cases of corona were announced here in Kenya, we sat down as a group and we thought, what could we do to sensitize our community against coronavirus? The culture of graffiti is something that is well embedded within our community in Madare. Some of the measures that were being put in place were not very much applicable, like keeping social distance, wearing masks. But we thought maybe through this talking wall, we could sensitize the community and bring the message closer to them. And so far, we've painted up to 20 graffitis, not just speaking about corona, but also speaking about different social issues affecting us here in Mathare. I remember when we started, there was a feature about our graffiti on one of the national television here in Kenya, and it gave us widespread publicity. People saw what young people taking initiative to protect themselves and their community against corona. Reception has been very positive, so you see more and more people are taking up the messages because they saw one of the graffitis that we did, and now we've seen what the power of young people can do. When young people come together, they're able to do massive things. We've seen that the uptake of this graffiti, the behavior change, people washing their hands, people putting on their mask and maintaining social distance just because of these simple graffitis that young people decided to do. We will just like to encourage the participant. If you see initiatives being run by young people, please try to support this initiative. It is such initiative that give birth to even greater initiative that come and change the world.